What's the one thing that has consistently been the obstacle to a ceasefire? Well, it's the United States, obviously, and its position at the Security Council.
The U.S. vetoed a resolution calling for the protection of Palestinian civilians in the midst of...
The U.S. vetoed a resolution that called for an end to Israeli military operations in Gaza.
A resolution calling for an international presence to protect Palestinians in the occupied territories was vetoed by the U.S.
The U.S. vetoed a UN Security Council resolution that expressed grave concern at the escalation of violence.
The U.S. vetoed a UN Security Council resolution that would have called for an immediate ceasefire between Israel and Hamas.
The U.S. vetoed a resolution calling for the protection of Palestinians.
The U.S. vetoed a resolution that urged an end to Israeli settlements.
The U.S. vetoed a resolution that called...
The U.S. vetoed a UN Security Council resolution.
The U.S. vetoed a resolution condemning Israeli actions in
the U.S. vetoed a resolution calling for an immediate ceasefire.
In the occupied territories was vetoed by the U.S.
The veto power of the United States has turned the General Assembly into little more than a slave plantation, where every country's ambassador is only ever actually sent to New York just to say yes sir to Washington. As long as the United States is in there, the United Nations will never be anything but a colonialist institution, an imperialist institution, an institution of American domination.
It is time. It is time for us to raise our voices and demand the invocation of Article 6 to expel the U.S. from the United Nations. And it is time for the world to say, enough is enough!